Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. My patron Maury asked me to show what I'm doing for storing my cards, how I handle my singles inventory, and things like that. And of course, the last time I showed this, I just had boxes stacked up. I've since gone and built these shelves. No, you do not need to build over-engineered 2x4 shelves. I did this because I have a very limited amount of space to hold these cards in, and I couldn't find anything like wire racks or anything like that that would fit. So I'm using these BCW 3200 boxes with the full lid. That's what I like because the 3200 boxes hold 3200 sports cards, but sports cards are thicker than TCG cards, so they hold about 4800 or 4400 TCG cards, so about 1100 per row that you'll see in here. And I get the full lid because it comes all the way up to here, and it just kind of makes the box more sturdy when you're picking them up so the box doesn't twist in your hands. And I get the small 3200s. It's the smallest one because the last thing I need is to throw my back out when I'm lifting one of these boxes. So you can get these. They have a different version that has 5 rows. Then they have another version that's 4 row but longer. And then they have a 5 row version of that. So I think there's actually 3 different boxes they make that are bigger than this. So if they're big trays, this is the smallest one. But again, when you have this loaded up with 4,400 cards, it's heavy enough. I mean, again, I don't need to blow my back out, so I'm not going to mess with the heavier ones. These have worked really well for me. I've never had one break or get worn out or anything. I just print up little tags like this in order to keep track of what's in every box. And eventually you start to sell down what's inside, you tighten them up, and what I'll typically do is just come back and mark over this and write in what's now in there a second time. And so every other time that I tighten up the inventory, I throw the tags away and make new ones. Now, I built this so that I could stack more on top, potentially to the ceiling, I guess. And on these shelves, they will stack too high. And that one would stack too high. I'm using that for just storage of some sealed boxes right now. And then down here at the bottom is some of my personal collection stuff, and I built that to be 3 high because I don't really intend that I take that out very often. Again, it's kind of long-term storage of my personal collection. So moving over here, here's where I do actual packing work. And so I've got stuff like, what do they call these? Shipping shields, some extra tape, top loaders, a whole bunch of penny sleeves, scotch tape just to close up the shipping shields. I got the team bags. I got stamps, extra stamps, some other stuff. And then a couple more trays that get moved over here because, again, they're the ones that sit on top of other trays on the shelf. So when I go to fill orders in the morning, I just pull these couple trays out, sit them over here, and then work out of them during the day, and I move them back in the evening when I pack everything up to put away. So, and then I've got some stickers, and I got my stamps and my shipping cheat sheet, which is available on the Patreon if you want to get the shipping cheat sheet so you never get an envelope rejected by the Postal Service. And then over there, I've just got my box of outgoing packages, outgoing envelopes, and everything else. So, I just sit my packing slips here with the envelopes, pull the cards over, pack them up, seal them, and throw them in the box. But basically, that's how it's going. And this is my refined process from, golly, over a year, nearly 2 years. I've been selling singles and nearly a year on direct, about a year and a half on TCGplayer. I started out on eBay and eventually moved to TCGplayer for most everything. But this works well for me. And again, you don't need to build this kind of horrendously over-engineered shelving, but I have very limited space to put this kind of stuff here. So I had to build something custom, something that I could also move around in the future. And so this is how it ended up. So that's how I take care of it. And you have plenty of room when you get down in here that you can reach to the back, and the angle is good so you can still read cards' names. almost all the way to the back, and you can pull the trays out a bit too so that you can get to the back if there's something at the very, very end here that you're trying to find. So it works great. All right, let me know what you think, guys. Any ideas you have, questions, comments, whatever else. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.